Hello, welcome back to episode 2 of my Pounce guide. This video we will be covering the swamp. This will include both versions of the swamp. This video will be laid out a bit differently as I'll be covering each structure individually. If you did miss episode 1 covering Dead Dog, you can find it in my Pounce guide playlist. I will be aiming to do an episode weekly. As always, you can find all the timestamps in the description box below. On the Pale Rose boat, you can jump over both the front side of the boat and the back side of the boat. I'll show you these from multiple angles. However, you cannot jump over the sides due to these ropes. When you are trying to jump over the back side of the boat, make sure you go far back enough, otherwise you will not go over. Here are some ways where you can get on the boat from the outside. Do keep in mind it does depend on the RNG, but I will show you some examples. The main way you can mess up this skip is if you're too far away or you're too far down. Just make sure you're close enough and you're a little bit above the ground and you should be able to get inside. Also, I tested with this hill spawn and sadly I cannot hit the Nancy over this railing. When sniping on these stairs, make sure you're at the very top, otherwise this will happen. Just wanted to do a little quick section about the hills on this map. The floor is very unlevel, some places are a bit higher and some places a bit lower. I'm showing these clips, it's a bit hard to hit people sometimes if they're too above you, so you need to be aware of that on this map. Just one quick thing about the Pog Log, it's pretty simple to hit over, you just need to make sure you're far back enough. You just need to be aware of the twigs on it as you will not go over them, you will hit them and miss. So on the small boat, you cannot jump into it. You can't even hit people over the vault itself. You can only hit people on that vault when they're vaulting it. However, if you are inside the boat, you can actually jump out from the back side if you go up a bit. The only way you can really mess this up is if you're aiming too close to the wall. Just make sure to look away a bit and you'll get over both the left and the right side. On the boat here, you can actually do a nice little shortcut over this vault. On my version of the map, I don't have it on the good side, but I'll still show you how to get over it. You cannot go back on the boat unfortunately from this window. You can also do some great snipes from this little hole here. So on the large pier here, on the Grim Pantry, there are actually some shortcuts on the sides of the pier. And yes, you can hit Survivor from here. Do be aware though, sometimes the RNG isn't in your favour as you need to make sure you can go up high enough to get on the ledge. You can get over the sides of the pier, you just have to make sure you're far back enough. There's also some taller fencing that you need to make sure that you avoid. You can snipe from this corner, just make sure you're standing on the box so you get enough height. Here's just some examples of snipes you can do from this pier. Just be aware when you go for gen snipes, so you're not aiming too high up, because you would just jump right over the gen. Victor can aim up and down, and it's very important to actually use this. There are also shortcuts on this pier here. I'll show both versions on both maps. You can get up as long as you're high enough, and yes, you can hit survivors if they're standing there. Sometimes there's also a gen that spawns here that you can hit them on. On the back of the pier, you can actually jump completely over this loop. You can also jump back, but not onto the pier itself. On the Grim Pantry version, just be aware of this pole. You'll see in these clips, because he's lower downhill, I go further. But on the left where it's higher, I go a lot shorter range. It's something you'll learn with time, it's just something you need to be aware of. Just gonna end off with some hit montages from this pier. It does depend a lot on the RNG, these maps have so many different versions of gen spawns, but I hope this helps either way. And that pretty much covers everything. This video took a while to make because there are 2 different versions of this map as well as different RNG. I really do hope it does help. Again, please let me know in the comments down below what you would like to see next. I'm going to try and aim to do one of these weekly. And thank you for all the support on these. Again, as always, happy pouncing!